Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios in West Des Moines, this is Iowa Live.
Hey everybody, we're getting very, very close to a night of incredible entertainment, laughter, and unforgettable memories as Penn and Teller present The Foolers, happening over at Stevens Auditorium in Ames. It's happening on Sunday, believe it or not, October the 1st. If you want to get tickets, Ticketmaster has them, ticketmaster.com. Come out to see television's trickiest magicians in an evening of jaw-dropping illusions. And who knows, maybe we can even talk Professor Jeff Stein to come over and do some shadow puppets or something for that. Hello, Professor Stein. How are you?
Speaking of illusions, here I am, coming into everyone's homes this Thursday morning. I am well. Yourself?
God, we're doing great. He's beamed in. It's not an illusion. He's here on your TV screen. It's the Iowa Almanac, folks. This is a program that Professor Stein does throughout the state of Iowa on radio stations, and we've taken it to TV to talk about interesting things that happened on this day in Iowa history, and you always learn something amazing. And this morning we're going to talk about something that sounds similar to something we've all been through in the past couple of years, but it happened more than 100 years ago right here in central Iowa.
You know, when I first started telling this story on the radio some 9 years ago, it just seemed fanciful. And when you hear it today, you're going to say, wow, that is way too close to the reality we just went through. I'm going to talk today, Lou, about the influenza pandemic that was rampant in the first part of the 20th century. It made its way to Iowa in the fall of 1918, and the base hospital at Camp Dodge was quarantined on September 28th of that year. Only 2 days later, the entire camp, not just the hospital. The camp, of course, located near Des Moines, was quarantined, and that's because they had 500 influenza cases reported at Camp Dodge. The first 3 deaths due to flu were reported at the camp on October 1st, just a few days later. The number of nurses on duty there doubled to nearly 600 by the middle of the next month.
600 nurses? Holy, yeah. I didn't realize that. Now, that led officials to quickly figure out that, more help was needed. This was not something that was ordinary.
No, and they could not contain it. They could not control it. The hospital commander actually told the Red Cross that agency, the Red Cross, would have to handle this growing emergency since the War Department, as it was known at the time, was just not ready for such a rapid spread of a deadly disease. Everyone was required to wear a gauze mask, but yet the disease spread. That may sound familiar to folks. By early October of 1918, Camp Dodge facilities were used to treat more than 3,000 ill personnel.
Wow, but they had to do something to contain this. This was obviously out of control. The first steps they used didn't really do a whole heck of a lot, but what they did to contain this is going to be ringing a lot of bells with people, Professor.
Oh, it is. In an effort to stop the disease back then, more than 100 years ago, the state health commissioner banned all indoor funerals for influenza victims. And in Des Moines, school officials barred children from attending school if they lived in a house with anyone who had influenza. Soon, the city of Des Moines issued a general quarantine. They closed all the schools, theaters, pool halls, and all other public places. Now, the influenza disease peaked that fall with more than 21,000 cases reported in our state, but it was still prevalent into the next spring. The first major sign of trouble, though, Lou, was at Camp Dodge, which led to a quarantine of the base hospital on this date in 1918, 105 years ago today.
Wow, and that affected so many different things, and it, of course, hit the state of Iowa, hit the surrounding states as well. And just really changed the future for a lot of people in that area. But yeah, they didn't have hand sanitizer that we know it right now, or any of these sprays that we have right now, or disinfecting agents that were so common right now. So again, happened a little more than 100 years ago. That sounds so familiar today.
No, absolutely. And again, we used to talk about the global pandemic. Well, that was this flu. It wasn't the one that we just went through, and now we've got to start numbering them, sadly, because we've had more than a couple in a 100-year period.
Wow. And just one of the amazing things that have happened right here in Iowa, and reminded of all the things that have gone on through the Iowa Almanac. Now, people want to learn more about this and learn about what we said and relive what we mentioned here today or any other day of the year. You have that all neatly organized. Where do you have that neatly organized?
Neatly?
Yes.
Well, yeah, it is pretty well neatly organized, I guess, by day. IowaAlmanac.com. News story every day. We've got the story, we've got the audio, we've got a photo, neatly organized at IowaAlmanac.com and on the socials at Iowa Almanac.
Professor Stein, you're a rock star as always. We will talk to you next time.
Have a great day, sir.
And you folks watching, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow for a Friday in Iowa Live.